Hey, Magic friends, welcome back. This is your captain speaking. We're here again for another episode of Capnclyde's MTG News. Not a whole lot going on these days. Spoiler season hasn't started yet. We're just now getting outside of the latest release of Dungeons and Dragons. I will have my boxes at the latest this next Tuesday, um, which would be Tuesday the 11th, I do believe. So I can start doing the box opening videos for all my set boosters and some draft boosters as well. So keep your eyes out for that. Hopefully the boxes come in a little sooner. Last time they came in early on a Saturday. Maybe I'll get lucky and tomorrow I can open some boxes. But with all that said, remember guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Tell your friends and family, help support the channel. Even put some comments down below. Let me know what you think about the channel and what my thoughts are. And let me know what your ideas are. It'll help feed that YouTube algorithm so we can actually get the channel a little views and some more support. And I do appreciate everything that you guys do to help me out. Also, if you want to support the channel, in the description below, there is a link to the eBay store. At the eBay store, you can buy all the cards you see opened on my box opening videos where they would be for sale. I list around 250 auctions minimum every month. So make sure you stay in tune and on the nose for that. There's all kinds of stuff in there right now. And with that said, let's put our tray tables and seat backs in a full upright position as we take off into the latest news that we got, which is something I actually missed from yesterday. So yesterday we talked about Crimson Vow and Midnight Hunt. Some lucky people out there actually caught this during some of the videos, and I heard some bleeps about it online. I went to check it out myself, but there's actually going to be changes to the bundle. And this is going to start with Midnight Hunt. The previous bundle didn't do this, but it's going to start with Midnight Hunt. So as we go forward here and we take a look at Midnight Hunt, you notice it's the Midnight Hunt bundle. One thing you'll notice in here is it says right here, now with 8 set boosters, which is very interesting because before it was 10 draft boosters. And we all know Wizards of the Coast is trying to get us to all change over set boosters. Um, for whatever their reason may be. The bundle's still cheap, and if you guys remember, bundles have been through a lot of changes. You know, back in the old days, when I first bought bundles back in the day, they came with books with stories. They came with books that showed you a picture of every card. Some of them came with like little maps and other pictures. They always had spin down dice, and they always had 10 draft boosters. Also, of course, they had the pack of land. So basically, you're getting a bunch of draft boosters at a discounted price, depending on how much you paid for it. Now, as we move forward, a lot of things have changed. They started taking out some of the flyers. The book's not in there anymore. Um, Things like that. The bundle prices went up. Back in the day, it was called a fat pack. If you guys remember that, I had to change that name though because that offended too many people. Because fat kids like me really care about somebody calling me fat. Yeah. So anyway, uh, the latest bundle for D&D, I thought about buying one to open it, but I just don't see the value in it. I mean, I know it's $60, but that one in particular, I believe, comes with, and maybe I'm wrong, but it's like 9 draft boosters and 1 collector booster. And then it comes also with the spin down dice, which is oversized, which is a new thing. Used to it was just a dice, now it's an oversized dice. And that one in particular actually had oversized dungeon cards in it that were foil, which is pretty sweet. Now that I talk about it, it almost talks me into buying one. It makes me feel like a moron. But anyway, um, so maybe I will get one of those eventually, and maybe I'll open it on the channel. Tell me down below if you guys want to see me open a bundle. If you do, I'll buy one. It's not gonna take much to push me over the edge, honestly. But with all that said, that was a change from 10 draft boosters, down to 9, along with um, 1 collector booster. Now it's gone down to 8, but now there's set boosters. So they're a little bit more expensive, but there's only 8 of them. And I think they're really doing is trying to, get more money and increase those profit margins. Like they've talked about that they want to double their profit margins across the Magic product for all of this year. And this is another step toward that. Now, with that said, I get why they made this change. 10 draft boosters in a bundle, Yeah, it's 10 draft boosters, but before we didn't have set boosters, and draft boosters are really good for drafting. And 10 of them is not enough for you to run a draft. You really need a whole booster box, so forth and so on. But if you want to buy a bundle because, oh, excuse me, guys, it's late. If you want to buy a bundle because you just want some cards, a set booster is technically better. I've showed it on my channel several times that you just get better things out of set boosters. It will give people, even though it's only 8, it will still give them a better chance of getting good pulls because they can get 2 rares in a pack. They could even get a list card, more chances at foils, so forth and so on. And there's no damage to anything by doing this. Now, with that said, on average, set boosters are running anywhere from up to $6-7, depending on where you're getting them and how much you're buying them for. So this is putting the set bundle piece at, I think I've seen this selling around $59 online. Um, and that's an okay price, I guess, although I still think that's a little bit too much for what this has to offer. Unless, now mind you, unless there is something special in this. Now, with that said, they haven't announced that there's anything special in this other than the 8 set boosters, probably the dice, and the land. Something else too, I forgot to tell you guys. We started off with we didn't get foil land because the foil land only came in packs, which actually made the land worth some money. But then they started throwing in 20 foil land along with the 20 regular land or 40 or whatever it is in here. Um, and they added that to the set booster, and they thought that was a cool thing, which whatever. But with all that said, um, unless something maybe special comes in Midnight Hunt that they haven't talked about yet, and I haven't seen anywhere what's actually inside this bundle other than the fact that we've caught this now. It comes with 8 set boosters. There may be other things in there, because like I said, the Dungeons and Dragons, it didn't have a spin down dice. It had a real 20-sided dice that was oversighted, or maybe it was spin down. Anyway, point being, but it also had those dungeon cards that were foil and oversized, which are really, really sweet. Just the regular foil ones you got for going to the pre-release were so cool, and I love those things. I got them things put aside right now for when I do drafts. Just too sweet, too much pimping. You want to pimp out a deck? Got to have the pimped out foils. But with that said, there's always going to be changes to this, and this is more of that change that we're seeing moving that way. Now, we haven't seen a picture per se, I think, of the bundle for Crimson Vow. At least I haven't found one yet. But I did find this very interesting. I still don't think now the Dungeons and Dragon one, which is $59, with 9 draft boosters and 1 collector booster, I think may be worth the $60. But as we get down to 8 set boosters, I don't know if there's nothing else in there. I don't know if there's anything else that's gonna make this worth that kind of money, because that's only around $48. I mean, if it's $6, give or take, maybe 50, and an extra spin down and some land just ain't worth that kind of money. Now, if they're gonna slide a collector pack in here, like they did with the Dungeons and Dragons, then that would definitely jack it up to around the 60 range. But the way I'm looking at it right now, I don't see this being worth the kind of money it is. Now, mind you guys, we've already had a video talking about how they're raising prices because of shipping fees and stuff like this. So they're going to try to manipulate the product to sell the same product at a higher price while still making a good profit and good margins. And I think this is part of that. And already I'm seeing some of my local LGSs and some of the guys I know who run LGSs are already posting pre-sales for Midnight Hunt, and we're talking 115 for a set box, like 110 or something for draft. Collector boosters at 230. This is a standard product, for the love of Christ. Like, this should be a $160, $170 collector booster box, in my opinion, at most. The Dungeons and Dragons ones have already tanked down to 190. And even when I get better deals than most people because of the LGSs and stuff I buy from. And I still paid more for my collector booster box at 199 than they're selling for right now at 190. And I'm really thinking that depending on how this set plays out, it may start to be cheaper for collector boosters to not buy them on the pre-release because people are jacking up the prices. Wait for them to come out, flood the market, and then everybody's trying to get rid of them because the next product's coming out and the price plummets. Then pick them up. And that's what I'm thinking. Now, I could be wrong about that, guys. I'm not saying that I won't be. but it's a very neat thought and very unique. So thanks for listening, guys. If you get a chance, tell me what you think about ideas down below. You can check out anything I talked about on any any price tracking website, TCG Player, MTG Go Fish, whatever you want to do, and you can see that initial high price that plummets after release. And what we need to do, guys, start voting with your wallet and don't pay high pre-release prices because it's just not worth the money, especially when the LGSs and stuff are technically overcharging from what they should originally be because they're still coming off the back of that Modern Horizon high and they think people are going to pay these outlandish prices for these products. So, with that said, guys, thanks a lot for your time. I do appreciate it. And remember, until next time, be kind, and I hope to see you across the game table.